Across to Toulouse, historian Françoise Vergès, whose work looks at France's colonial past, joins us. Thank you for being with us here on France 24.
Thank you. Good evening.
Are you surprised by the results?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Remember that France has encouraged immigration to Kanak to reverse effectively the demographic number. And this was encouraged so the Kanak will become a minority in their own country. It was a little expected. But as you were saying, or someone was saying, we have to see that partly the majority of Kanak voted for independence and the settler voted against. So there is a real clear division in Caledonia right now.
And we saw that a lot of people who are not Kanaks, are not indigenous to the island, but who've arrived over the last 20 or 30 years, were in favor of independence.
Yes, some of them, yes. Some of them, because you do have migrants also from the Pacific, islands around. So the division will be more between the white people coming from France who, found a very good situation there because, as you do know, salaries are higher than in France for the same jobs, and you pay less and you are in a good place with the sun and everything. So you do have a settler mentality that's settled among the white French. And most of them will be against independence because that will mean going back to their country or accepting to live among Kanak in a way that will be certainly different from the privilege that they have right now. But people coming from Wallis-et-Futuna and other islands of the Pacific also feel a certain, Pacific islander, community that has been looking for independence for a while now.
Looking for independence for a while. Some of the people are pitching this as an Anglophone versus Francophone tug of war, what with Australia being not far off. How do you see it?
Well, remember that in Kanaki, you have had insurrection since the French arrived. So I will not say it's an Anglo idea. In 1878, you have a very important insurrection. In 1972, and also in the 20th century, you have a long aspiration for independence among Kanak people. So I will not say it's an importation, but the French have had, as we know, had a hard time with decolonization. Practically no French colony went to independence without a struggle, long struggle, and even armed struggle with, Indochina or Madagascar or Algeria or Cameroon are the most famous case. And in New Caledonia, remember, there was the Uvea where so many young Kanak were killed by the French army. And there was the murder of a young leader also by the army. So there have been a long history, I would say, of tension and even armed insurrection from the Kanak against the French state and its colonial politics. So we will see. Remember, a lot of young people, young Kanak, feel that they have not received anything from, all the progress that have been made, that they have not received any benefit from the nickel industry that is very strong, going very strong. Just a small elite, a small Kanak elite have been, getting some benefit from that. But most of the population, most of the Kanak, young Kanak, and also the generation of migrants from the other Pacific Island feel that they are being marginalized and there is no future for them in the situation as it is now.
Historian Françoise Vergès, many thanks for joining us from Toulouse.